Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday, the 24th of July. I want to talk about believing in God and overcoming Satan, or actually overcoming your lower nature, really. That's what they're talking about, isn't it? You must overcome your lower nature. You must become this beautiful being of light. And I'm really trying to get my chickens on a roll here, and that is to see what our energies are and what they actually work. And see, there is actually truth in what they're saying, as far as I can see. They're just not, they have a knowledge and they're not using it in the correct way. Because there is a point at which you have to overcome Satan. But it is not permanently overcoming Satan. And I don't think it is permanently becoming this beautiful being of light. First of all, if we come to, I come in the end to whether you should, I want to show you what God is. And then you see whether you should believe in it or not. Because that's not what you should believe in. First of all, this experience of life is an experience, it's a knowledge of the Creator. That's the first thing, and it is an extremely intimate knowledge of the Creator. Yeah, you can hear Him, smell Him, taste Him, feel Him. Yeah. As I said, it is a very intimate knowledge. Not of all, because all cannot be known, but of a part of Him. It is really, you try to know all and you will know nothing. You know something and you know it intimately. That is really the big difference. And here is really, are you a jack of all trades or you're a master of one? So master being a human being, which is a knowledge of the Creator. And I said an intimate knowledge of Him. So again, I keep thinking about the lower nature, which is being rejected at the moment, which if you want to have the experience of the Creator as a human being, this intimate experience of Him, you absolutely need your lower nature, because that is your guide. It is the knowledge of right and wrong. Yeah? And we're being told to suppress it. Now here, let me say this again. If as a human being you feel anger, that means there is injustice somewhere. And at the moment you are being led two ways of dealing with that. Yeah? Either you shoot the messenger, that is, you're actually standing there beating down that feeling. Yeah? Oh, it's my lower nature, it's so sinful. But you should not know injustice? It's sinful to know injustice? Or if you feel fear, you beat up on your fear. Overcome Satan, beat up on your fear, because it is sinful to feel fear. So it is sinful to know danger. Folks, it was like this from the beginning in the garden. Yeah? God did not want Adam and Eve to eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Why? He did not want them to know what good and evil is. Why would one, and it is a being, why would one being not want another being to know what good and bad is? Unless they're doing stuff, and Adam and Eve were the servants, so God is doing stuff that maybe their knowledge would rise against. So what do? They're not supposed to know. that it is bad. Just trust. If I'm God and I'm telling you what to do, know it is good. That's all you need to know. You don't have to have any knowledge of yourself. In fact, I'm preventing you from having that knowledge. Think about that. The rights or wrongs of that. So here we come. So you have these feelings of fear, of anger, of greed, which would point to need, loss, sadness. And that is a knowing. That is you knowing yourself in the situation. But that is the knowledge of what is. Yeah? And then the next thing is what should happen next out of that knowledge. So that is your point on the map. The knowledge of what is, and where do you go from there? What should happen next? Now, I would say on this level, the level we're on now, the knowledge we have now, if humanity were of the intention, that all have the right to exist, all have the right to need, everything needs its space in which it can have its being, then when these feelings arise, I think they can quite often already be resolved through dialogue, through cooperation, through trying to find a compromise. So we would not actually need to go any further. If we would acknowledge that feeling, there is danger, there is injustice, and then start cooperating, even doing something that would alleviate the danger, or, as I said, an injustice, try to solve the problem, sort it out. But there are times when we can't. Yeah, in a physical way, the problem is just too great, and the physical cannot go up against it. That is the point of prayer. Now, and that is the point where you have to overcome the knowledge of what is and the knowledge of the physical world. Because if you've already gone through all the options of what you could do in the physical, and that's not, none of them would do it. So then you need to overcome the knowledge of that. And this is where actually faith comes in. Absolutely faith comes in, because what you need to do then is going completely and utterly against the grain. It's definitely going against the grain for me. Yeah, that is the one bit that I have not done. I'm going by the knowledge of the experience of others, the knowledge we give of the knowledge that we have to each other. Yeah, so one person does not actually have to experience everything, but we can give of the knowledge to each other. That's what the ancient teachings do, that's what we do right now. We give of the knowledge to each other. So, yeah, the point where it goes against the grain, and that is if something really desperate comes up against you, you would actually need to be absolutely still. Yeah? And that is again overcoming Satan or overcoming any of the angels, because they are energy and they would push you into doing something. And as I said, in this world quite often it could actually be done that way, and if it can be done that way, I would stay on that level. If it can be done through dialogue, through actually doing something physical, do it. And in which case, again, the angels are your servants, because they will give you the energy. But as I said, if you're at a point where neither your knowledge nor the angels can do anything, yeah, because physically it cannot be done, then you need to be absolutely still. And here is where stillness would actually be faith. At the moment, for most of us, that would be faith, and because we don't know it, we're going above that, what we know. Absolute stillness and knowing the Creator gives. And that is believing. I mean, really. And the more you believe, the stiller you can be. Yeah? So that is that point where you have to be absolutely still. And then it is actually the denial of self. It is the denial of your lower nature. It is denial not of the situation, but as I said, going higher when it comes to the solution. But as I said, what they're teaching at the moment is that is the state you should be in. That is, again, a state that serves something. It is a state in which you create a change. It has got a function. That state has got a function. And it is not, we should all become that. All these states, the emotional knowing, the knowing of the rational mind, that is knowledge that is here to serve us, and it is here to serve the experience, the intimate experience of the Creator. And then you could say it's in service to life, because that is what the knowledge is. It's life. Life is an intimate knowledge of the Creator. And you can have different intimate knowledges. I guess there are other worlds where you would gain a different knowledge. So yeah, and I said that's for me, that is where it absolutely goes against the grain. You know, when something comes up against you, your first instinct would be to, my first instinct would be to do something. Yeah, and yes, absolutely being driven by the energy of the knowledge. You know, do something about it. But I myself, I'm at a point at the moment where I'm still in severe pain with my with the medical condition, which I still haven't got a scan to even tell me for certain what that is. Which uncertainty is not a good place. And I have tried to get help in this world, you know, of the doctors. I actually ended up in A&E at the weekend, and I was treated like absolute dirt. And I have a feeling that at the moment that this condition, this pain, is actually trying to drive me toward the point of stillness, which I said it goes against the grain for me. You know, something is wrong. You should be doing something, and driving yourself into doing nothing is, as I said, it's, you really have to rethink yourself completely. You know, go out of your routine, really. You know, it is a routine for me, definitely, that something's up, I do something. That is routine. And you kind of need to get out of that to do the exact opposite. Which I'm trying, folks, I haven't gotten there yet. Now, the last thing I want to talk, well, let me just say, so at the moment, we are being driven in the completely wrong way. One, as you should be in that state all the time, and that is not the point. Really is not the point. Deny yourself, become that being. I mean, you are that being, you can be that being right now. That it is within you to do that. I know it's within me to do that. I just haven't quite found how to do it. But it's there, the ability is there, I know that. And I probably find it very hard to do it because I haven't used that ability ever, I think. So you've been driven into you should be that all the time, and no, that's not the point. You should not be that all the time. or you're being told that, as I said before, your lower nature is sinful, sinful, sinful. How is the knowledge of something being wrong sinful? Yeah? But then your energy is then spent on not even trying to change the situation. You're not even trying to change the situation in any way, shape or form. You're just beating up the feeling, the emotion. Either way, we are being led to a point where we do nothing or doing the wrong thing. Completely ineffective in changing the situation. And we are deliberately being taught that and being driven to that point because they are trying to do something right now. The mighty of this world for sure, and there might be gods in there, other beings on a higher level of knowledge, in cahoots. But this is again why humanity is not allowed to have the knowledge of good and bad, because if it had, it would stand against it. It is really, you are becoming the obstacles to their desires. And this, by us not knowing good and bad, is the easiest way of removing the obstacle, because we will do nothing, or we will do the wrong thing. Now, last thing, should you believe in God? Right. Again, go back to the book, yeah, and see what God actually is. And again, I think one of the only true gods, in fact, the only true gods probably in the book is the first one, the one that created this world. Not created the world as, and God creates the heavens and the stars. That is actually the creator. But the first created being that was a true God. Because God is a created being. It is the level of created being. And the highest level of created being, probably. That's a God. So the first God in that book is the one that said, let there be light. Let there be this, let there be that. It was a creator being. Yeah? And no, he did not use technology or the knowledge of chemistry or something like that. Nothing like that. It was purely belief. Let there be light, and know that you will receive. That is the only true God in that book, as far as I can see. And it is going downhill from that point onward. But you see, that is God. God is that knows that it will receive, that has got a connection to the Creator. It is a being that has got a connection to the Creator, and it knows it will receive. That is a God. So then, here, shall we believe in God, which is we believe on a level of being, on something that is created. Most of the gods in that book are beings. They are on the level of being. And even if there is a being that has got this ability, that is a true God, should we believe on him to do things for us? Or should we strive to become that? Because the ability to be a God is in all of us. And I said that is a state of faith, a state of knowing that you will receive. And then what you should actually believe in is the Creator. And here we really must change our language. Yeah? We must in the end, it is all one. Okay, in the end, it is all one. It is all light. Everything is made from the Creator. It is all the same thing. Different experiences of it, but it is all the same thing. Okay. But in order to work something, you would need to see the separate working parts. Because the Creator is not just one block thing. Again, you're going into the light, into the all. There you have the block thing, but you have no knowledge of what is in there. So the working parts that all come together in order to create that outcome, the prayer, and the changing of reality, being a creator being. So knowledge, you are a human being right now. You have an experience of the creator. And that's an intimate knowledge of the creator. That is a human being. You've got the angels that bring us of knowledge of what is going on at the moment. Yeah? And some of it is negative, yes. But it is what it is because it's created out of the situation. So don't beat it down, just say, I have that knowledge. Next stage, you, the rational mind, and that is the rational mind is looking for an answer. And sometimes we can do it in the physical, with the knowledge of the physical that we have. And again, the angels will give us energy for our task in the physical. And yes, we can do that. Yeah? But if we can't, or if if the fear drives you into doing something that is destructive to something else, then the angel cannot serve you. Because you shouldn't go there. Again, your knowledge of right and wrong. So you're coming to a point where this cannot be done in the physical. Then next step, the prayer. The connection to the all, and then knowing there is something there that will give to you. And then you're at the level of a God. But God believes in the Creator. God believes He will receive. God stands there and say, let there be, and knows that He has received it, and it will be His. So again, really we must have a language that makes very clear which part we are talking about. And at the moment, God and Creator are rolled into one. And we must make that separation in our language so we can talk to each other. And say what it is we're talking about, because it is, again, our language is confused. Our language is confused because our language is restricted. We must, if we are to expand in our awareness, in our consciousness, then our language must expand. We must have more words to describe a greater thing. Anyway, here folks, I think I leave it at that. So should you believe in God? No, it is actually God is the thing that believes on the Creator. Knows that it will receive. That is a God. I don't think you should say, I'm just a human being, so I believe in another God to do it for me. You have the ability to reach that stage. It's a state of consciousness, is God. Man is a state of consciousness, God is a state of consciousness. You can reach that state of consciousness. And no, you should not sit there and say, I'm waiting for something else to come and save me, for something else to do it for me. Yeah? Try to become that, to do it yourself. Grow up. Take responsibility for your own life. And become what you're created to be. The fullness of what you're created to be. Anyway, I leave it at that for today, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.